In case you guys missed it, they did make their first major league-ish move so far this offseason, acquiring Jose Siri in exchange for right-handed pitcher Eric Orsi. Now, for those of you who don't know about Jose Siri, not a great offensive year from last year, but the main thing that we are looking at is the overall defense and tools that he can supply. 99 percentile in OAA, which is an overall range metric, which we definitely like to see from the center field position. Very strong arm percentile, 97th percentile in sprint speed, very fast, can steal you some bases, stole 14 bases last year, can get a decent amount of extra base hits, can hit for some power. Yes, he has registered that 446 expected weighted on base average on contact when he puts the ball in play, which is a 91st percentile. But the problem is he doesn't make that much contact, and he's in the bottom 10% league chase rate and whiff rate, strikes out a lot. Lots of chasing, not great discipline, but when he does make contact and does put the ball in play, he definitely can do damage. But we know that we're looking at this from a run prevention standpoint. That was definitely the main emphasis of a move like this. Now, Frank and I definitely broke down of what this could possibly mean, especially with the next thing going on with the outfield of a certain outfielder that they are chasing, and we'll get into, because Andrew was not here for this stream, and I did mention this in this last stream, and I want to see what your thoughts are on this. When I think about this Jose Siri thing, of the skill set that he has, definitely power hungry, very swing and miss, but overall great defender. Here's my initial thought from this. I feel like the Mets wanted to trade for Dalton Varsho, and the Blue Jays asked for too much. The Mets said no, and they pivoted to Jose Siri.
I mean, it's a thought. I mean, especially, well, in Toronto, which, again, Toronto's probably going to spoil a lot of videos because we've seen how the reports and the desperation from them, we would expect a team in that situation would probably blow it up, but again, their GM and president of baseball ops is, fighting for their job, so they're going to do something very stupid this year, and multiple things, knowing their luck. So I think it makes sense, but also if you compare Siri to Varsho, cost-effective wise, Varsho's going to make about $8 million, Siri's making $2.5 million, plus Varsho's a pending UFA. Siri, you have, 2 years of control? So you have the extra year, same age. I mean, it's definitely, the model type is probably similar. I mean, it's the same. Like you said, it's probably, they would have preferred the left-handed version. The fact that, when we're going to look back at Eric Orsi in 6 months and he's going to have a sub 2.3 ERA because the Rays are going to work their devil magic and he's just going to have a sweeper with his changeup and he's going to throw 107. We're going to be like, where the hell did this come from? But that's what the Rays do. Again, it's a power bat when he makes contact, which is fine. I mean, I love that Frank was hating Harrison Bader, and he's going to be like, he'll bat ninth, which is fine, but then I'm going to laugh when he goes 0 for 29, but Frank's going to be like, well, the defense, he did make a diving play, but if Harrison Bader does that, Frank's going to kill him. But besides the point, again, it's a fine move, and it's, again, we paid $10 million for this last year. Stearns is already shaving $8.5 million or $8 million just for that. So again, cost effective. You're giving up a reliever that we saw, again, we only got a cup of coffee with, and again, he's going to Tampa Bay. That always scares everybody. But again, that's the risk you run when you make a trade with the Rays. When he makes contact, the ball go boom, which is always my kind of hitter. But it's just, can he make enough contact to do it? But again, if you're telling me my non-hole hitter is going to hit 20 homers and play elite defense, you would have preferred, obviously, the left-handed bat platoon with Tyrone Taylor. But again, if there wasn't that option and if they weren't going to spend money, which, again, a whole video was made right as the damn thing dropped, which was, of course, that I always got to, maybe we need to make a Soto to the Yankees video and then the news is going to drop as soon as we post that. Maybe I'll record that after the video, after the stream. But again, it's fine. Again, I would have preferred, again, this is just me, but we got to do the run prevention. I'd rather go with the offensive first player with the average defense, but Stearns is obviously prioritizing the defense. Whoop-de-doo, we want to be the Brewers. Yeah, we get to play good defense. But again, he's fine. He's got aura. He hits 20. If he hits 20, hit ninth, I'm fine. He didn't give up much, but again, it's, and you're saving money, and if you're taking that $8 extra million and either signing another reliever, a well-known reliever, or giving it to Soto, or going into the pitching market, again, it's a savvy move. It's just not a sexy move, and it's nothing to lose your pants about. You know he's going to make plays defensively, and if he gives you even a glimpse of that 2022 form or 2023, you'll take it as your 9-hole hitter.
To kind of go along with Andrew's point about making it more of a platoon, maybe with Tyrone Taylor, with somebody from the left side. I mean, the issue is that when you look at the market itself, all of those pending free agents from center field, they're all right-handed. I mean, unless you want to count Aaron Hicks, but at 35, he should not be your defensive center fielder. You know, he's just not that player anymore. So ideally, you'd like that left-handed bat, but I just feel like since that option was available, you just say, okay, well, let me just get the best guy. I mean, because like we talked about on the stream, but we're talking about 99th percentile in OAA. We're talking about 99th percentile in sprint speed. So as good as Bader was or is defensively, this guy's even better. He does not have the injury track record that Bader has. He has more power than Bader has and much cheaper. And kind of like I said, like whether the Mets get Soto or if they don't get Soto and they end up with Santander or Teoscar Hernandez, or don't get any of them and have to stick with Marte, no matter what, the Mets are going to have a very bad defensive right fielder. And with Brandon Nimmo not entering age 30, coming off some injuries, he's average at best with his range. So no matter what combination the Mets are going to go with next year, you are going to need a really good defensive center fielder with this team. Now, if they don't upgrade the offense in the corners, I will be frustrated because I want to see some kind of offensive upgrade in the outfield. So again, I hope that this is just like a foreshadowing of like a big move offensively in the corners to come. But I think for right now, I'm willing to let it play out because, like I said, no matter what, the Mets are going to need help defensively because no matter who they put in the corners, even if you bring back Winker or talk about some of these other guys that are out there, none of them are good defensive outfielders. So they were going to need someone really strong in center.
I think I kind of look at this as just the marginal move that it is. And you know what? I think that it's good for both sides because this is basically what the Mets needed. And we knew that center field was going to be something that they needed to address in this offseason. We know that Brandon Nimmo is coming off of that foot injury, and he's definitely going to be slowing down. And I don't see him playing center field. We saw David Stern say that he's most likely going to be the left fielder no matter what, and they were going to address center field in that way. You look at all of these other options, like I said, regarding somebody like Dalton Varsho, I feel like they probably asked for too much. Maybe they didn't even look at Varsho at all. We had other guys that were out there. Luis Robert, we know, was out there as well. We know that Cody Bellinger has been on the trade market recently. When it comes to a piece such as Jose Siri, he's 29 years old. He's got a lot left to go. And listen, I think that when it comes to forming up this team, they do need these marginal pieces, and it really did show, you know, how they were able to win games in different spots. Guys like Tyrone Taylor and guys like Harrison Bader, which kind of like flipped their roles in the first half and the second half, where Bader was good in the first half, wasn't great in the second half. Tyrone Taylor was subpar in the first half, and then the second half, you know, he really definitely got going and was productive. I think that right now, the Mets don't trust Starling Marte to play right field anymore, and I think that that's really the feel right now. Yes, he is still here. Right now, he is still our right fielder on the depth chart at this current moment, but I feel like the only way that Starling Marte is an everyday player is if having part-time in left field and DH.